Now think of this. If you can visualize this space is being open all the way up to a 20-foot ceiling, that's what this gathering room is going to be all about. And one other thing that's going to come together, we're going to have a split fieldstone fireplace right here going all the way up. It's going to be fantastic. Now normally a fireplace like that could go 40, 50 grand. Yet there's a new technique to work with stone, and we're using it on the garage. Come take a look at this right now. Look at this natural stone product. In fact, it's brought to you by a company called Stone Veneers International, and I'm here with Jason Beekle. Jason, good seeing you.
Scott, good to
and
be
Mark Comer. Now, Mark, who are you with?
I'm with Western Ohio Cut Stone, and we're located in Sydney, Ohio, and we quarry our own products.
Okay, now, they're just up the road, and I stopped in the quarry one day, and I talked to Mark about using ordinary thick stone that weighed 6-7 times as much, and he said, I've got the product for you. And what we've done right now, well, Jason, describe what we have here.
This came out of the ground in Sydney, Ohio, and it came out in a full 4-inch thick, full bed depth natural stone.
Okay.
And what we do at Natural Stone Veneers is we take that full thickness stone and we run it through the machine, slicing just the face of it off, giving it only a 1-inch depth.
Well, what I like about that is it's nice and light. So, literally, look at this. It's smooth on the backside. And the application of this is, yesterday, the guys came in and put on, well, describe the process for us.
What we did, Scott, we had the Tyvek, the house wrap on.
Right.
And we nailed onto a wire mesh slath.
Okay.
And then we took a Type S mortar, and we put our scratch coat over the wire mesh, covering up the wire mesh.
If you look down here, Mark, tell us about how we're blending the stones like an artist's palette.
Right now, we're blending it as a 60, 30, 10% mix. We're running 60% on the blue water, and we're running 30% of the bridge water, and the Riverton out of Wisconsin is the 10%.
Okay, and the reason Mark suggested this, if you look at that Riverton, it's got a purplish hue to it, okay? And whereas these two limestone products right here are more natural. I love that blue, but I needed this buff color. Well, let's open up. You can see what's going on here. You know, and the mortar, once you get it stuck, now how do you make it stick, Jason?
Well, we've got the Type S mortar that's mixed up, and we put in an acrylic admix.
Okay.
It's more, it looks like Elmer's glue, and that's exactly what it does. It just makes the mortar more sticky.
Okay.
And it allows it to also seal up your mortar joints and keep the water out even more with that additive.
Okay. And then once you put a stone up, how long does it take for you to move on to another piece?
Seconds.
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 Let's see it.
What we're doing, the way that the
Cup of water.
product adheres to the wall, what we're doing, we're going to put the mortar on the back of the stone. Now what's happening here, Scott, we have the moisture, all the water that's mixed up into that cement, it's soaking into this stone right now.
Right.
Giving it that bond to the natural stone. What we're doing now, that mortar's on the back of the stone. And just like that. Now what's happening, the moisture that's in the cement is soaking into that stone.
Right.
And it's also soaking into that back wall.
So it becomes one piece.
Right. With natural stone, with the imitation stick-on products, the density of the natural stone, the longer it takes for that moisture to get out of that mortar, the longer it takes for it to soak into this stone and the back wall, the stronger the bond. Because natural stone is more dense than the concrete that makes the molded products. We get a 4 to 10 times greater bond because it takes 4 to 10 times longer for that water to escape from the back.
Okay, now here's the big question. How durable is this, guys?
It's natural stone. It's been around forever.
250 million years old.
250 million years old. I think this will stand at least 100 years. When it comes to installation, Joe Beekle, Uncle Paul, and Uncle Dave are really about the best. And what I can see right now is you guys have been moving out today. Now, Joe, tell us what you're working on. You have your lines laid in, and then to put the stone on, what's the trick?
Basically, we're just using the lines as a leveling point so we can just eye it up rather than grabbing the level for each and every stone.
Gotcha.
So that keeps us relatively straight as we go up the wall.
And this is thin set mortar on the back.
That's correct. We put a little coloring and pigmentation into the material so it blends with more of the stone color, because you really don't want to see a gray background.
Right.
Not that you'll be seeing much of it at all, but...
Yeah, on a dry stack, it just looks better to not see any mortar at all.
Exactly.
Now, on the thin set, do you have an additive or glue like we had on the Type S mortar on my house?
Yes, we put a little bit of that in. We also go with a medium to high grade thin set that already has that in the mix, so we're really adding water to it. We add the dye to make it the color, but it comes in a gray or a white color.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, let's see what Uncle Paul's up to. He's selecting the stone and cutting it out.
Right, we're making, for the corners, we have corner pieces, and we also have flats for our straight runs.
Okay, and Uncle Dave is just flying along here. I'm curious, Uncle Dave, how long you been at this?
I'll be an hour and a half ago.
Hour and a half. Okay, so it's not fast, but what's the trick to it?
The base, making the base square.
Okay.
You can see we have wood underneath. There's tile going to slide underneath. So we raised it up 3/4 of an inch. So when you put the tile on here, they can slide right under it. And to make it perfectly square, you can see the lines.
Right.
See,
It'll
right
be
now,
a nice finish.
See, right now we're trying to get up to this line pretty much.
Right.
Come up.
Well, and if there is one thing that I know about it, you certainly don't want the stone looking like it's going downhill.
Right.
So keeping the level going. So this is the A team, and you'll see more on the other teams as we go along. Well, nicely done, Joe.
Thanks.
All the best. Looking good. Can't wait to see the finished touch.
Us too.
We're here with Jason Beekle, and this guy knows stone. And let me tell you, you're doing a beautiful job on this
Thanks,
layout.
Scott.
Now, how many guys are working on this project?
I think we've got about 12 or 15 today.
Oh, right. Well, they're really doing a great job with the homeowners here. And if you look at this stone, I want to get into the geology a little bit. What's this shiny material here?
The mineral deposit's a schist, Scott. That's the mineral deposit name that they give it.
Okay, so when this is quarried, it comes out in thin pieces, and then you diamond cut it into these shapes? Okay.
Comes out of the ground. Here's the natural faces to the stone, and it comes out in a full thickness stone, and then we just slice the back face off so it gives it that cut edge to it.
Okay, so this is nice to work with. Takes a little bit of time, but let's say a homeowner didn't have it in the budget to pay for someone to do the entire house, but they had time to do it.
Yeah.
What tips do you have for them?
The tips that we offer to the do-it-yourselfers is hire a professional for 1 to 3 days, depending upon the size of a job. Learn the tricks of the trade from them, consistencies in the thin set, and the rules of installing all the stone up onto the wall.
Okay, well, when he's talking about the thin set up here, you can see this dyed brown material. And last week on the show, his brother Joe told us how to stack it and how to lay it out. But the thing that you want to do is make sure that you keep the lines running, that it gives it that flat or stack look. You don't want it going downhill.
Right, and you don't want to end up with one continual head joint, they call it, the lines running up and down.
I gotcha.
So you break that up with it. Right, we're crisscrossing from side to side here, mitering these corners all the way up the wall here.
Gotcha, so it locks in, it looks very natural, and that's the effect you're going for. Up at the fireplace hearth, we have something entirely different going on. We have the keystone in, we've got some trim stone here, the hearthstone. What is this?
Travertine, Scott.
Where's it out of?
Turkey.
So you guys import stone from everywhere.
Yeah, stone's a color and texture, and that's the color and texture out of the ground in Turkey.
Wow, that is beautiful, very natural. It's just like limestone on steroids. It's gorgeous. It has unique color. And you know what? Bruce Bacon over there, he's been working on stacking this all day along with your brother Joe. And this is going to be a show place.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to anchor this space, and this is the most important room in the home. So, boy, man, and this goes on, the travertine goes on the same exact way as the rest of the natural stone. Except this is going up on concrete board.
Right, right. We've got a cement board onto the back, just screwed into the 2x4 stud wall in the back, and starting out with the surround pieces and putting the thin set on the back and applying it the same way, getting that frame, and then when Bruce gets done with the hearth, then he's going to come up and build up around the outer edges of the travertine here.
Okay, now keep this in mind in your home. If you have a wall or a fireplace that you want to make special, you can use this product to do it if you just make sure you put up the 1/2-inch concrete board into the studs and a screw every 6 inches to carry the load, and I'd even glue it down. But that's how you can turn an ordinary wall into something majestic. This is going to be great. Can't wait to see the finished touch. Thank you.
Yeah.